Tierra.
Tell me how your evening is going.
So far so good. I'm out of town right now, getting a drink and some food. I missed
Okay.
the topic though, because I wanted to chime in.
Well, the topic is I believe that men are responsible. You know how men are talking about, they get with women and women are treating them bad? I believe men are
Okay.
responsible for that.
Based
I
on the woman
believe,
that they choose.
well, even that too, but I believe I don't tolerate lewd behavior. Just as quick as we met, you can be dismissed just as quick.
Well, yeah,
If I
nobody
need to,
should tolerate.
well, but they do, or we wouldn't be having this conversation, right?
Okay.
Do you feel as though a man has ever disrespected you or played you less than what you know you're worth?
I'm 30 now. Yes, in the past, but
Okay,
I
so
just leave them where they had me effed up at.
exactly, exactly. But here's the thing. So I'm going to shoot my shot at you right now. Let's go. What did you say your name was?
My name is Tierra.
Tierra. I like that name. How's your evening going?
Thank you. I'm good. I fly back to Fort Lauderdale tomorrow.
Are you single?
Yes, I am single.
Listen, those eyes and those lips kind of have my attention hijacked, right?
Okay, I'm sure they do.
Oh,
I'm
that
deeper
you.
than my eyes and my lips, though.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know the depths of you right now, but I want to get to know those. You cool
Stimulate
with
my
letting me?
mind,
You cool with letting me get to know the inner depths of you?
the inner depth of my mind.
Yeah, that's what what depths did you think I was talking? You thought I was talking
Mm.
about the deep?
You see, you just doing what typical men do, trying to get
No, no. I
panties.
was talking about something else. I was talking about who you are as a person.
Okay,
Right? What
let me
state are
ask
you
you a
in?
question. Right now, I'm in Milwaukee.
Okay, talk to me. Go ahead.
So let me ask, are you single?
Of course.
Of course. Any kids?
25, 26, 20.
Same mothers?
Planned pregnancies inside of a marriage.
Okay. And why did the marriage fail?
Okay, I don't want to evade your question, but I want to show everybody what the purpose of this was.
Hmm.
This is how you guys, she engaged with me. She communicated with me. And this is what we were talking about right before you came on. This, do you agree that it takes some courage for a man to be dressed correctly, be looking the par, smelling well,
Hmm.
and then muster up the courage to approach a woman?
Yeah, see, that's just a little bit of it. You gotta be able to stimulate my mind because
Yeah, yeah,
I
but
could find.
I'm just talking about me approaching you initially.
Hmm.
Let
Maybe
me
it
ask
was
you.
me though. At first, I thought you were talking about something else though.
Well, I am, but we're making a point. What we were talking about is I think women are somewhat selfish and not humble. It takes a lot for a
Hmm.
man to approach a woman. Me, I don't care. Only thing she can do is tell me no, right? But most
Hmm.
men, I do paid 1 hour consultation, and it's overwhelming the numbers of men who kind of lack confidence, but they're amazing men, right? They have careers, have their own things, but they've gotten chopped up by approaching women, boy bye, and all of that, right? What we're
Yes.
discussing in part is the way you engaged back with me. It is my belief that's what women are supposed to do. Don't leave all of the pressure on me
Hmm.
if you know that I came, mustered up all of the courage to let you know that I'm interested in you, right? Women
Hmm.
should
That's
not sit
understandable.
there and just say yes, 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 and answer questions. It's appropriate if you engage back with me like you did. Ask me some questions about myself, right?
Of course. But you see,
I can't hear you. I can't hear
calling me.
you. Okay.
Can you hear me?
I
Sorry,
can hear you
somebody was
now.
calling me back. So a lot of times too, see, I haven't gotten that because I'm always respectful, and so my grandparents raised me. They always told me to always be respect. Because nowadays, if you find a man that can't take rejection, and then they I'm always
Okay,
respectful
I can hear you
because
now. I can hear you
you
now.
can hear me. So I'm always respectful because some men really can't take rejection, and you go be rude to them, and they hit you, do something like you hear stories all the time of men unaliving women, and
Well, it's not.
so
That doesn't happen as
that's
often
part
as
of
you
the reason
think.
why I'm always respectful.
Well, here I'd like to argue this: that what you talk about statistically doesn't happen as often as you guys think. Those studies that talk about women being unalive, the bulk of those studies are coming from entirely different countries, right, where they practice that,
Yeah.
right? Mutilation, things like that. But my thing, I'd like to argue this: that shouldn't be the primary reason that you're behaving in a manner that is becoming of a woman. It should be because on the inside of you, you're humble. I don't want to say caring, but I'll say considerate, right? Those are should be
Hmm.
the primary driving forces behind you demonstrating like this. Because what we're seeing today is women are wanting to get treated like women, but they don't behave like women, and I'll prove it to you. Do you have 5 friends that can pop up in your mind right now?
Uh huh.
Let's be real. Are there, and I'm talking about African American. Let's be real.
Hmm.
Most of them fit the stereotype of a woman who will snap if she feels offended and things like that, don't they?
I have one friend like that.
Do you pull her
I
to the
do.
side?
So I have friends for different reasons. But you see, this friend I'm talking about, she's a dancer. She lives in that nightlife. So, see, it'll make sense. Like, she's in that environment of the drug dealers, the scammers, the fast money, the fast life. So she's like a friend where we could party together.
Somebody just said, why isn't that not acting like a woman? And
Why isn't
see,
what?
well, I don't even want to get into that. See, that's another thing that we go through. A woman just literally asked the being willing to snap and things like that. She just asked, how is that not acting like a woman? That is not becoming of a lady. A lady is supposed to be able to know when to remove herself from elements in her piece, elements that can cause chaos. That is the power that a woman is supposed to permeate. A
Well,
woman
if
is supposed to be the peace and the opposite of chaos.
well if she's acting like that, she'll attract certain type of men. Like me, I go for high value type of men, certain stuff like that. Just you have to conduct yourself in certain ways, different settings, dress a certain way.
So you wouldn't date a man
So
who makes $40,000 a year.
um, I haven't in a long time.
Let me ask you this. What does the end of your life look like if you were the one who was allowed to paint the picture of it? What does it look like?
Grow my business, investment properties, travel.
Family's not that big of a deal, husband, things like that. That's not on the top on the chart.
One
You're
day
not
I
wrong if
do
it's
want to
not. You're
be.
not wrong if it's not.
One day I do want to be married, have kids. Right now I don't have any kids. Um, yeah.
No, you don't.
Because a
No,
part of
you
it,
don't.
I be thinking every man cheats, but then I have to realize it's the
Every man
men,
does cheat,
the
ma'am.
type of men that I date.
Most men cheat,
Well,
probably 98%. And I
okay,
don't
but you
mean,
see,
listen, hold on. I don't mean cheat, but given the proper opportunity can be swayed to cheat.
I think the reason why I don't want to be married is so I've been a mistress before, and it was to my advantage. Like all my bills were paid. Like he would tell his wife, "I'm going on a business trip.
Right, right.
The business trip, we out the country somewhere." So I do know that that's wrong, but I'm not glorifying it.
I appreciate you for being honest about it. I believe
I'm
this.
not.
I believe that most men would prefer a woman like you who's being honest about something that 99% of women lie about and act like they are better than. It's an aphrodisiac to hear a woman being honest in her truth because it's rare.
So at the time, I was like, okay, well, I know he has to go back to his wife. They got kids. He's not roaming the street. She's gonna keep him in check, and then outside of that, he's with me. But I know it was wrong.
Did you grow up with a father figure in your life?
No, I grew up with my grandparents.
The reason I ask you that is because that's where that type of thinking typically comes from. Even the damage that is instilled in men. All of the studies
Mhm.
point to teen pregnancy in girls reduces significantly when the father is in the equation, right?
Mhm.
So let me ask you this: you're in your 30s,
Yeah, I just turned 30.
okay? How long do you think you can keep moving like this? You are about to hit. Listen,
Um.
I don't know if you know this. You're approaching an area in which we call dead man. Dead man walking. Welcome to death
Oh
row.
Lord.
You are approaching the end of the line. You do know that, right? You're going to have to score really, 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 really soon. Really, to be honest, in the next 9 months, you're going to have to score. A man, the caliber of man who you desire, in the event that he wants children, it's going to start presenting as complications for you to give them to him. Women start
Okay.
producing significantly less eggs once they hit your age, right?
Mhm.
You are on your decline. The tatas, they're not going to be the same next year. Your skin is not going to always be as tight. You are really about to have to start leveraging yourself at the highest levels to maximize your profit. You're going to really have to go in and get whatever it is. First and foremost, you're going to have to try to figure out what your end game is so you can start pursuing it because this is about to disappear, sweetie. You know that, right?
And then, because you see, I keep saying I'm just having fun, because so I date athletes, and you know what comes with that. They all cheat. It's just like fun, travel around,
It's
go to
fun.
games. I mean, the money is good, whatever. I have my own business and I work, but athletes, I feel like, I don't know. I don't know.
Welcome to death row. You are
I
approaching
just,
that. You are approaching the dating death row. Here's what the dating death row is. It is that age that you hit when you decide to jump back out on the dating highway and you start seeing tumbleweeds blow down the highway. Whereas you used to jump on the dating highway and you used to see a lot of guys say, "Hey girl, hey, come holler at me." You're approaching that age to where those guys who vied for your attention will be replaced with
mhm.
tumbleweeds. Do you know why? The 29-year-olds are coming to blow you out of the water. The 25-year-olds are coming to blow you out of the water. Are you familiar with age gap dating?
Honestly, it's been these 24-year-olds, like, it be young dudes. I be making jokes with them, like, I could be your mom that been trying to get at me lately.
You're only 5 years older than them.
And then the older men, I wouldn't call them boring, but
I understand.
I'm still having my fun. But like you said, how long is my fun gonna be? Because I like living by myself, doing good for myself.
Long as you are okay with the infamous belt buckle jingle, you will be okay.
Me and my vibrator are locked in.
Okay. Okay.
I have
Okay.
no stress, no,
So did you
I'm.
know this? Did you know this about the vibrators and things of that nature? Did you know that after a certain amount of time they ruin you? They mess up
They
your
could
stimulation
desensitize you.
abilities? Here's what I'm going to say to you. The longer you are inside of unnatural elements, the natural order of how we are supposed to be living, the more it will decay you.
Hmm.
If, like that drink that you have right now, if you walk outside and you pour that in your gas tank, it's not going to produce the same results
Yeah, I
that
think
gas
so.
does.
Hmm.
Anytime something is operating outside of its natural intended design, it starts to malfunction. You get what I'm saying? If you
Mm-hmm.
take that drink right now and you go pour it into your gas tank, there's going to be some malfunctions.
Oh, it's over.
Yeah, because you now have that car operating outside of its natural intended
Mm-hmm.
purpose. You, I'm just going to be real with you, you are dancing on the devil's highway.
Oh God.
You are. You're dancing on the devil's highway. The reason that you'll hear this, welcome to Death Row. Do you know what happens on that dating highway? If you don't, I'll help you out. Herpes, HIV, cases of gonorrhea and chlamydia that antibiotics no longer work on. You were
That
only
I'm dancing on?
anybody who stays on that dating highway for too long. We are only
Okay.
supposed to be on that dating highway for a very short amount of time. It's like playing hopscotch or double dutch. You jump on that thing, get what you came for, and you jump back off before you end up in a head on collision on the dating highway. You didn't know it. He's fine as hell. You wouldn't have even anticipated him having herpes, right? But
Mm-hmm.
now that he's passed it on to you, not you, but somebody, do you
Yeah.
know how small the pool of men from now on you are going to have to select from? You're already getting older. Now somebody has tainted you with something that no other people want, right? When you
Mm-hmm.
start dating, you're going to have to start giving this information up to them. Listen, I like you and I appreciate the way you've been courting me, but I have something I have to tell you. How do you think
Mm-hmm.
that's going to go? And let's don't
It
just
ain't
skip
gonna go.
exactly. So now all that you have been doing to strategically position yourself, it will be in vain. Everything that you
Mm-hmm.
did will be in vain. And the thing about staying on the dating highway for too long is everything that you did prior gets eliminated by your ability to do none of it anymore now that you've contracted this. Now that you've let in broken men, Lord forbid a psychotic man gets a hold to you and right, you
Mm-hmm.
are on the highway to hell and you need to jump off of that highway as soon as possible because you are operating outside of your natural intended purpose. And I want to ask you what you think. Tell me what you think your natural intended design was.
As far as marriage, have kids,
All of that as a
be with
woman.
one
What is your
person.
purpose?
Yeah, to be married, have kids,
Yes.
clean, cook.
Yes. And I'll be honest with you, people who stand on that clean cook thing, depending on how beautiful the woman is, you are already in a plus that you don't have any kids. That's amazing, right? You need to guard your poom nanny with barbed wire fence. The moment a baby gets injected in there, your value decreases so significantly. You're aware of that, right?
So my gynecologist told me that I need to get off birth control. I've been on it too long because it could also interfere with my fertility. So that's another thing. But the thing is, I feel like I'm also single because every time I start dating a man and like really get serious with them, it just messes up how I like to do things. Like now I'm being told can't come home at this time. Now this, now
Listen,
that.
stop.
Then
Hold
they
on.
got their own
Everybody,
problems.
I want you guys to pay attention to what I've been teaching you guys for the past year. Listen to what she just said. I have embedded it in you guys that the primary reason that most African American, well, not even African American women, most modern women buck at the notion of a long term relationship. Hey, you know I don't want you hanging with Shanika anymore. Hey, hold on. You're not going up out of here dressed like that. You're running from discipline and structure, is what you're running from. And discipline and structure are the two components required to cause growth in a human being's life. You can't even grow without discipline and structure. The longer you run away from it, the more stagnant you become and set in the shoes of the human being that you are now. And you won't progress, you will only regress.
And like, so I always get, invited to go out of town, trips, overseas and stuff. And I feel like if I had a child or something serious, I won't be traveling as much no more. It'll just hinder a lot of stuff because I live on freedom. Like as soon as my bills are paid, everything is good. I'm at peace. I light my candles. I be in my own world at home. Nobody's bothering me. No crazy is pulling up to my door. So it's for me. Like I really do feel like I'm at peace. Plus, I was the only child, so I'm used to being by myself.
You have only
It's
child
never long.
entitlement as well. You have
It's
only
never
title.
lonely for me.
You have only child syndrome entitlement. But the question is, here's what's going to get you to where you need to go. I'm going to ask you two questions. One of them is predicated upon what your OGBYN told you.
Hmm.
How important, on a scale of 1 to 10, are children to your life? I already know the answer, but I just want to hear you say it.
Not that important. A lot of my friends with kids, they make
Exactly.
it seem like a nightmare.
Okay.
And
Um,
it, like a financial nightmare too, because I live in South Florida and it's very expensive.
okay. I'm going to tell you this. Somehow you escaped the higher degrees of breakage associated with a woman not having a father in her life. Somehow you escaped the worst parts. You're not ratchet. You're pretty semi easy to communicate with. All of these things we
Hmm.
have difficulties out of black women with at high levels, right? I'm going to tell you what you need to focus on. That is your dating money. The tatas, no
Hmm.
children, somewhat still retaining your youthful look. Do you know what those things are? They are dating money. They are dating money.
Okay.
That is what you take to the amazing man store to purchase whatever caliber of man your money will buy you. Once your money starts depleting, you're in trouble. Welcome to death row. You're not going to be able to do this for 3 to 5 more years. You can't. You are being replaced by 25-year-old women every day. Every day. Their coochies are tighter and wraps more firmly around a man's hoo-hoo than women who gets older. Her boobs are going to be perkier. Her skin is going to be tighter. She's going to be more gorgeous. Period. Everybody
Hmm.
gets replaced. You had better figure out an exit strategy before you get replaced and you're stranded on death row, hoping or wishing that you could have done it different. Because your later years are going to be predicated on how well you set your later years up. You're going to get older. Your cuts, when you get cut or an abrasion, it's going to start taking longer for your cuts to heal. Your
You're
immune
scaring
system.
me.
Well, you should be scared. This is real.
You're scaring me.
You're going to get older. Somebody may attempt to come in your house. What are you going to do about that? Did you know studies
Hmm.
show that women who have a man in their lives are 3 times less likely to incur violence than women who are single? It also goes to show that single women, one of the most effective things that you can do is go to Walmart, buy a pair of man's construction boots, sit them on your porch. That is how powerful even the presence of a man is at deterring would-be predators. You're playing the game, sweetie, but you're not playing it correctly. You haven't set up an exit strategy yet. I can respect how you got down, but you shouldn't be getting down like that because it takes
Hmm.
one phone call from your gynecologist and all of this is over with.
And honestly, though, I really did escape a lot of stuff, like getting diseases, going to jail, being in shootouts. Because, so for example, I grown up with my grandparents in Miami. So my first boyfriend was like a drug dealer. Then I went on to the scammers. Like I had like the fast money. They would buy me purses, clothes, money, trips. Like it was fun, but also, I could have been shot at. Like anything could have happened. So I escaped that. So now I'm dating athletes or whatever. But like I'm not stupid. Once I get back to Fort Lauderdale, there's gonna be another one flying
You
up.
better know it.
It's a
At
rotation.
least you know this though. A lot of
But
higher levels of delusion. So I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to hit you off the top. You're not going to be able to answer it.
uh-huh.
Tell me what your exit strategy is. You
As
remember
far as
you remember Players Club? Diamond had an
of
exit
course.
strategy. Yeah. You remind me of
Hmm.
her, to be honest. She had an exit strategy. She wanted
I
to
want another
accumulate.
Airbnb business.
Um, you really need to start focusing on your exit strategy because your time is about up. You stay on that dating highway for a little bit longer and you'll probably reap the repercussions of it. None of us are allowed to get away. What is your faith? Tell me.
What my faith in like the higher up.
Islam, Christianity, what is your faith?
I grew up Christian.
Oh, so you do believe in God.
I believe there's a higher power.
See, you're not even rooted in anything. You don't even have a foundation built. You
I
don't know
never
who you are.
seen it, touched it, believe it. If I see something, you need a Baker ask me. I'm going crazy. I don't want to get
Um,
that deep into it. You ever see crazy people? When they go crazy, they always saying God, they see this, they see that. I don't want that.
well, I'm just going to say this to you. It sounds like you're not delusional. It sounds like you know that this isn't going to last much longer. You need to set yourself up so that when you abandon it, basically quitting the job before you get fired. You understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You're going to get fired very soon, right? There's too many people coming in. So do this for me right now. Name me something that you can give a man right now that you haven't already given to other men outside of a child.
Mm,
Nothing.
that's hard because I've played a wife for boyfriends.
So you have to start asking yourself now, why would a high value man lock you down over a 25-year-old who also doesn't have kids? She's likely going to be more beautiful, right? She's going to be super feminine. You have to learn how to play your cards correctly because the jig is almost up with you. At
But I mean,
30,
like lawyers and doctors and stuff, they try talking to me, and I just don't want to be the one to hurt them because I know I'm not really ready to be locked down and like do the whole wife thing and go and come as I please.
listen. Oh, snap. What the heck?
Like right now, my phone, nobody's bothering me. Nobody's blowing up my
But
phone
listen,
asking where I'm at. Like
you're acting like a child. You're acting like a
I
child and
just
you
don't
know it.
like stress. I don't like stress.
You're acting like a child and you know it. No one gets to live this life. No one gets to do this. No one gets to the yellow brick road. I have money. No one has broken my house. None of the men who I'm involved with have brought me into disease. No one gets to live this life. You know that, right?
Hmm.
You're going to keep on that dating highway long enough for some of your worst nightmares to come true. Listen, I've been in the streets. Super careful. Super careful. I was known for this. I was known for being more careful than having large amounts of money.
Hmm.
It caught up with me. Even no one gets away. What you're gonna have
I
to
maybe I
do,
just haven't found the right person.
no, this problem lies within you. It's your mindset. It's what you know you've already been able to get away with, compelling you to believe that you can continue to get away with it. And the universe doesn't allow people to just get away. It doesn't. My uncle, everybody loved him. He was a pillar of pretty much my whole family.
Hmm.
He worked 12-hour shifts every day, sometimes 16. His plan was when he retired, buy a duplex, fix it up, and retire. My uncle retired. 2 months later, he was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer.
Mm.
The universe is at play. We He didn't do anything wrong, but what I'm telling you is things don't always go as we plan.
Mhm.
You are a couple of interactions away from being ruined. Because to be honest, I think you know this. You live a life like Players Club. How long do you think you could walk the tightrope without falling off? Do you think that's even possible? Listen, most of these men who you're talking about, I don't include athletes as high value men. They got their money through their talents and they didn't really have to build that thing up from zero to this, right? Most
Yeah.
real true to life high value men, do you know how much money they lost before they actually hit it? Everything is not a win win win. You lose. And here's what I'm going to tell you before I let you go. I'm going to tell you this. You need to get on TikTok. Type up femininity coaches, things like that. You need
Mhm.
you need a mind overhaul. I understand the mind that you have, but it's not going to continue to work. No one gets to live for free. Life requires payment from everyone. You do know that, right?
Okay.
Consequences and repercussions get injected into the game when life sees you've been playing with a cheat code. Life does not allow people to play with cheat codes. People who say, I don't ever want to work. Okay, get with that guy. Now you find out he likes this. None of us get to use the cheat codes for long. We simply don't. And
I
I'm going
think
to tell you
because
this.
for
And
me,
listen, hold on. You actually have some value. I don't get to tell women that often. You
mhm,
are actually shocking me, to be honest. I knew the caliber of woman you were before you come on, but when I heard you speak, it's rare. You have the ability to take this life you live right now, forge it into that of somebody who can be valuable to a decent man.
okay,
That's the only thing that's going to get you through. You do hope to end up 70 one day, right?
God's willing.
Do you know how difficult that journey is by yourself? When the
Mhm.
doctor comes and tells you he has to remove 3 toes, you want to take that news by yourself? Or do you want to have somebody next to you like, baby, I don't give a damn what he said. We gonna beat this. Somebody has allowed you to believe a fairy tale that doesn't really exist.
My grandparents told me that. They told me that I live in like a fairy tale.
So listen, if
But I think
everybody's
for me, it's because so when it comes to like men, I'm not the jealous type. I don't talk back. I'm not arguing. I'm very submissive. But I do think men can run over me with that. But I really don't be caring. Like I think every man cheats. As long as I'm happy, I'm getting what needs to be done over here. I really
right,
don't care. Just don't
I
want me
agree with
like an
that.
outside baby or an STD. But
I
I
agree
feel
with that.
like certain men they would run over me and think that like they could do whatever. But it's like, isn't that the type of woman you want? Like, see, I don't be ghetto, all the fighting and stuff, but I'm also very vain. Like, I'm not fighting nobody. Don't have no marks. I don't want no marks on my body. I don't want that. I'm not going to jail. I'm just not doing that.
You are a
I'm
really
not.
rare case that I've come across. You have all of the attributes of a valuable woman, but you're living a broken lifestyle.
But how is it broken? Like, I be traveling for
Don't
free.
worry about it.
Like, I
Don't
be
listen,
in.
listen. Don't
I
worry
go.
about it. Don't worry about it. Stay on that dating highway a little longer. You'll see how it's broken. None of us get to live for free. None of us. They put a fake dope case on me. Everybody where I'm
Mm,
from knew it wasn't me in the pictures. Is that fair? No. But I
so
was
they
moving
framed
in a,
you.
yes, and I beat the case, filed a lawsuit. But it doesn't matter. It inconvenienced my life. I sat up in there for 18 months trying to fight it away from my children. These things come
Hmm.
with real life repercussions.
What state are you in, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm in LA.
LA. So I'm sure you run into a. I heard LA is crazy out there as far when it comes to women. You got they be on OnlyFans. They be like, I don't know what they're looking for.
Well, the
I don't know
thing
what
is, it
they
depends
looking
on the
for.
circles you run in. Depends on the circles you run in. My circle is different. My circle is people who have already made something out of themselves. People who, when you look at them, they're already dressed a certain way, right? So,
With
yeah,
careers and stuff.
yes, mostly business owners, sports agents, things like that, right? But I had to
Hmm.
break out of my old lifestyle, move 2,000 miles away to get away from what was preventing me from the lifestyle that was preventing me from locking in with the caliber of people I'm locked in with now. You see what I'm saying? I had to run
Hmm.
from my entire existence back home. You can't really do that stuff back at home because right now, where you're at, where you're from, an amazing man can come into your life and really be rocking with you, right? And mess around and bump into one of your old friends who tells him, "Oh, bro, you don't know about her?"
See, like when I go to bed, put my phone on do not disturb. See, when I go to other cities, like small cities like Ohio and stuff like that, the people are so nice. And I feel like my soulmate is probably I need to move out of South Florida
What's keeping you
because
from doing
I'm
it?
not competing with the woman with the BBL, with this and the that. I'm not competing with that. Like I don't have time for that.
No, I don't think so. Hold on. Let me see. Somebody in the comments said so. I don't know. I didn't hear what they heard. So what did you say about women from LA?
Oh no, I was just saying, you said you're in LA, so I was like, wow, I'm sure you see a whole like all different kinds of women there.
Oh
'Cause,
yeah, 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 yeah.
like I had a friend, she wanted to move to LA. I don't know, she thought that was like the American dream. She was gonna run into who knows, and it was so expensive. She came back.
Listen,
Like she thought she was a 10 in Miami. She went over there,
and it's not
and
a
she was
10.
like,
A ten in other places is different from a 10 in LA. And I'll
yeah,
say this, there's not just bad women here, there's phenomenal. I have locked in with four women who most men would take somebody else's life for, right? I wasn't ready. But somebody, I forget, somebody said there's good women and bad women everywhere. I've ran into more
yeah.
good women than I have bad women. And because I don't tolerate less. That's what we're talking about today on the show. I don't tolerate it. But I'm telling you right now, your clock has ticked already. And the reason I say that, you don't even have an exit strategy to put into place. You need to find a way to break out of this life and jump onto this thing that you've already built, new life. But you don't even have step one, two, or three of the new thing built yet. Guess when that thing
So
gets
what should I do?
guess when that thing gets easier.
What thing?
That thing that you need to build to help you be able to jump out of the lifestyle now to this new lifestyle. Guess when building that new lifestyle gets easier? With a man. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Hmm.
You don't have a very accurate decision making process. You are living a lifestyle right now to where we can be reading about you in the newspaper any day. You do know that, right?
Like getting unaligned?
Yes. You don't think so? You don't have any
Well, people
structure
I
in
be
your life.
around got a lot to lose
You don't have
and
any
be killing
structure in
me.
your life. You don't like discipline. You just gotta know you can't keep living like that. You're not living inside of any type of purpose. Watch, I'll prove it to you. What is your purpose? That's
Well,
a
I was
that's
kind
a
of
problem.
depressed when my grandparents passed away because they raised me. So now, yeah, I live by myself, really on my own.
You better get it together,
The
girl.
men in my life though, they treat me good though. Like
For how
I can
long?
honestly say that.
So let me ask you this. I'm going to get rough with you now. Do you believe that
Yeah,
you're being used?
I think we're using each other.
It still doesn't negate the fact that you're being used. You have more to lose than the men. I want to tell you something. You probably don't know about this. Did you know that past 5 to 10 sexual partners, a woman's ability to get married decreases all the way down to 5% or
Hmm.
10%? You break as a human being. The more you're not, listen, a woman was not meant to endure all of that, right? I'm just making a hypothetical. Gary, he holds this, right? And you like him because he is bust off to the left a little bit, and you like the way it hits your rib cage. But Tony is just long, right? A woman was not supposed to endure all of that from multiple men.
Hmm.
You start to break as a human being. If it is true that those kisses, those vibrators start desensitizing women down there, what do you think multiple different cocks do? What do you think sharing your mentality with multiple different men does? It helps you become the woman that you've already become, a woman outside of her purpose. You will end up being like a zombie who doesn't care about children, who doesn't know how to function inside of a family dynamic, who doesn't know how to resemble a wife. You're not even going to be able to learn how to do those things until you jump off of the highway that you're on right now.
But the thing is, I've met married women, and they be so miserable. They be like, "Man, I wish I could be like you."
Do
Like
you
I'm trying
really
to plan
believe that?
a well,
Listen, let me say,
maybe.
hold on. Let me say this to you.
I mean, they get
The
tired,
top
but
20 wealthiest women, where do you think they got their wealth from?
see, a lot of white women I know though, they're housewives.
No, the top 20 wealthiest women, where
Okay.
do you think their wealth came from? It came from men, except for one. She was a self made billionaire. Women's lives inherently increase when they are attached to the family dynamic. And here's what I believe your problem is:
Mhm.
you've never experienced how great it is to perpetually have someone who has your back. Not when someone's being violent towards you, but when you just feel down today. Here you got this person who thinks the world of you.
Mhm.
You get a knock on the door from Uber Eats, and while you two were sitting on the couch, he snuck and ordered your favorite ice cream.
Aw.
You don't know what life is, sweetie. You don't know what life is. It's been hidden from you. And then you're listening to other married women who traded marriage life for your life, try to convince you how amazing your life is. Most women are big children. That's what most of you are. I want to play. I want to play. Well, you don't get to play all the time.
I really am a big kid.
And I think in aspects that's okay, but you still have to adult up as it pertains to the matters that are very important. You are going to get old. You're 30 now. You're going to get some bad news. I promise you that. When life knocks on your door, the only question is, are you okay with handling that bad news by yourself? You said your grandparents
Okay.
passed.
Yes, they did.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. On a scale of 1 to 10, how did it affect you?
10. It affected me a lot. My
Okay, hold on,
mother
hold
is.
on. Listen, there's some more tens coming your way, sweetie. It's
Hmm.
called life. Now, here's the question. Are you okay with dealing with those other tens that come by yourself?
Oh, other problems
Yes,
that have
they're
me on 10.
coming. They're coming. They're coming for all of us. There's
Hmm.
women who have been sitting on their porch. I read a couple of years ago in Compton, California, sitting on their porch, reading the Bible, and a stray bullet whacks them. It's life. You've created your own fantasy land. You've never had therapy, have you?
No, I probably do need therapy. My mom is diagnosed bipolar schizophrenic. My dad never in my life. I grew up. There was always, beating on me and stuff, and so I just always knew. I was like, well, when I get of age, like I remember that's what made me start talking to, like the drug dealers. Like it wasn't my family that got me my first car. I mean, now looking back, it was like, yeah, it was because of money. I felt like,
Listen, I got
they was
somebody in
doing
my life who
something.
I got somebody in my life who I want you to talk to because you are a sweetie. To be honest, you're a sweetie. It's a very rare occasion that I get to say that in our community. But your current mindset has the ability to promote very terrible things happening in your world. The things that have happened to you, I can respect that. You need therapy, but what more than I suggest than therapy is a good, decent man. Listen, you don't know this. You never even started your healing process. You put a blanket over it. That blanket is your current lifestyle. All of the things you do right now that incite pleasure and fun, you're using those things to keep from having to address the things that you know you really need to address. There is nobody on this planet who has been physically abused that it has not affected them.
Hmm.
It needs to be dealt with because that's when you can
Yeah, I
start
do
feeling like who
mask.
you really are supposed to be.
I mask a lot of stuff by shopping. I do always doing big purchases when I feel stressed. I'm out in another town. I'm just like, yeah, I guess living in La La Land, but it makes me feel good.
Oh my God.
I have my drinks, eat, but that's what makes me feel good. That's what,
How
because
long
I
is
don't
that going
like
to
thinking about my
last?
childhood.
How
I really
long is
don't
that
like.
going to last?
I don't like thinking about my childhood. My childhood was depressing.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do. You have a car, right?
Hmm.
Next time that check engine light comes on, I want you to ignore it for like a year. And let's
Nope.
see how the hell that goes for you.
Nope.
Exactly.
Negative.
And that's what you're doing right now. You know it.
You can't do that with a G wagon.
Exactly. So do you believe that you are more delicate than a G Wagon?
Of course.
So your check engine light has been on. You've been ignoring it for some years, actually. Did you know this? Did you know people can break? You can. One day,
Like just snap.
I have a cousin. When I got out the joint, people were saying things to me about my cousin, but I couldn't wrap my head around it. We were like this every day. He's not the same.
You want to know? I saw somebody say this in the comments that it could be hereditary, and I think that's another reason why I don't want kids because I think it came out of my mom when she got pregnant. But the thing about it is, my dad left her while she was pregnant with me, so I think that had a factor in it, like the postpartum depression. So I always knew I never wanted to be like my mom. So I don't know. But my mom is like bugged out, like
I,
schizophrenic,
I
real
understand
bipolar.
that. Listen, tell me this. Who do you have in your life who you know for a fact loves you? Hands down, you know it for a fact. There's nobody that can come talk behind your back to this person. Hands down.
I don't know. I feel like my family. So they think that I'm rich, and I'm really not.
I know what you're saying.
And then like they be asking me for money, and I never give them. Like I don't know. Like I
So,
don't think
sweetie,
they really like me.
you don't even have a support system.
I don't think my family ever liked me. Like I
Forget
was always the
them.
oddball
Forget
out. I'm
them.
the one with tattoos.
A
I'm the
support
one that wears
system does
weaves.
not listen. A support system does not have to be blood.
Oh, I don't have female friends. I don't trust women at all.
I understand that, sweetie. You've been walking around on this earth, broken, hiding internal issues, without even a support system, a man, or therapy. You are almost like a time bomb waiting to explode.
No, I had friends before, but they always did something to me, like
Okay, so that's
whether
not a
stealing
support
from
system.
me or trying to set me up to get jumped and some like weird stuff.
So that's
It was
not a
just always
support
something.
system. I'm talking about, listen, here's what I'm going to say to you. I am going to, I want you to go to my inbox and say anything just so I could know what your account is. I'm going to push somebody in your direction. You really, 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 this is the dopest, like, because you're not like the women who usually come up here. I can actually say that there's hope for you, but you're running from things that will cause you to collapse. You can't run from those things. The reason, it's like I understand so much about you already. The reason that you're not that interested in children, the reason that you don't have a high propensity to get married, it's all is tied to your past. When you do go get therapy, do not go to a woman. Do not
Hmm.
go to a white man. Go to a Latino, go to an Asian, or a black man. That is it.
Okay.
That is it. I know your life is kind of cool. You
I
need,
think I think I know why you said don't go to a white man.
well,
He
because,
might think everything I'm doing is fine.
no, I don't really trust that situation. There's a reason why African American women die at the hands of have high mortality when giving pregnancy than anybody else. There's a reason why the FBI released studies saying that white supremacist groups infiltrated uh, the police force. So I'm not. I'm saying I wouldn't even gamble with it, because if somebody will infiltrate the medical field and infiltrate the legal field, why wouldn't they infiltrate? You don't want somebody who thinks a certain way or doesn't value you as a human playing around on the inside of your head.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying that that would be the case 100% of the time, but I'm telling you a way where you can avoid it. Go to someone who does not have a legitimate reason to hate. I haven't never seen where Asians have demonstrated a perpetual hate for us. I've never seen I've never seen a situation where Latinos have demonstrated that type of high hatred for us, or blacks. So you got to stick with that. But I'm going to tell you this before I let you go.
So you really think I need therapy? Because what's the end
You
goal
are a
of
ticking
therapy for
time
me?
bomb waiting. You are a ticking time bomb. Like, there's a lot of things on the inside of you that would cause a man to collapse in some aspects.
Like you feel like the day I really snap is gonna be bad.
It's probably not going to be good. The day that you are forced to confront these things that you've been running from, there's no telling. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's a reason you've been running from those things. It's because of how explosive those things are. None of us get to run. None of us do. Listen,
I don't know
my
why you
girl
keep
said,
saying.
My girl said, "You're coping, not healing. There's a difference. You're taking Tylenols. You're not getting the surgery.
And
That's
this
all you're
is
doing."
coping too.
Yes. Do you think that that's normal? That to escape from something that took place in your life, you try to stay in the fast lane? And I'm going to tell you this: from retirement age to the end of your life, around 1.7, you'll need around $1.7 million in cash. And that's not the splurge. That's just so you'll be able to continue to pay rent, mortgage, so you'll be able to continue buying your groceries. You need that just to make it from retirement age to the end of your life. Most people can't come up with that by themselves. This has been a two income society for the last 50 years. Everything gets easier when you have a partner assisting you with it. You understand that, right?
Hmm.
A man is the greatest thing that you can ever come into contact with. The moment
Of
that you
course.
come into contact
As long
with a
as you
man,
respect them, as long as you respect them.
I think you already have that unlocked. I think you already, it's crazy for me to say this, but I think you could be a wife.
Hmm.
Do you know how seldom I get to say that on here? You're soft spoken, you're cooperative, you're pleasant, right? I'm wondering, have I ever gotten to say that on here?
I just don't like being told what to do, and I don't like when I start feeling restricted. God, bye, friends. I gotta go because he's gonna trip. I gotta go home. I'm on
Hold on.
curfew.
Let's talk about this. Why is he going to trip? Tell me.
Who wants their woman out at
Listen to what you just
2 in the
said.
morning in
Listen, here's what you
VIP?
said. Here's what you said. Hey, girl, I gotta go because here he come to save my life. Here he come to benefit my life, girl. Here he come to protect me from myself, girl.
They weren't even like this. Like, where you going with this? Zip this up. What
Let me
is
ask you this.
protecting my
Let me
life?
ask you
You know,
this.
predators,
From what you see
perverts.
about me already, if me and you were dating, do you think you'd be allowed to walk out like that?
It's not even bad. Really, it's just
When I
no.
see you,
Seriously,
when I
this is
see
not
you,
bad.
when I see you, do you think the first thing that comes into my mind, I'm going to give you three options. What do you think comes to a man's mind? I want to marry her. I want to take her to church with me, or I want to bust that down.
Because of this,
Sweetie, you need a man. You
because
don't
of
know that.
that, it's just,
Let's go a step further. Why did you pick that?
um,
Tell me why you picked that.
it's cute.
Do you think it's
No,
sexual?
seriously.
Do you think that that is sexual?
I mean,
Talk
because
to me
based on
like
the
we're
stuff
adults.
I
Talk
have,
to me like we're adults.
based on the stuff that I have in my closet, I think this is actually on the decent side.
The crazy part.
It's not that. It's not that bad for real.
Do
Ooh,
you think
see,
what?
you're
Hey,
right. I'm
listen,
getting
listen.
fat.
What do you think that I want from you right now? Do you think that you make me want to marry you right now? Without hearing your voice, without hearing your mentality. When a man sees you, what do you think pops in his mind?
I'm at a bar. I mean, even if I had church clothes on, who wants to marry somebody at a bar?
The bar is not the issue. It's whether or not your mentality is engulfed in the bar.
Well, yeah, you're right. Then I do need a man because if I don't see nothing wrong with this little top, then
I agree a
obviously
thousand percent. I gotta ask you again though. Do you think that a husband wants his woman walking out the house like that?
I honestly
Listen,
did not
I
think
right
it was
now,
bad
I can get
because I
stimulated by you. I can get stimulated by you because okay, I'm gonna look and I'm gonna see. My
But I'm
my
a woman. This
imagination starts working, and then I see little aspects of flesh. Then I start, and let's be real, we can see the nipples. What do you think this is doing to a man? You think it's making him think about Bible study?
oh man.
But listen. I want to turn you on to somebody. I got to get back to this show. I want to turn you on to
Okay.
somebody. Um, I don't. You can just get my inbox and hit a thumbs up so I know who you are. There's somebody, an amazing person that I really want you to connect with because I don't think you're far off. I don't think you're far off. You have some qualities that a man would wife, but you're not a wife. Somebody's going to have to teach you a lot of things. A man is going to listen. Let me ask you this. Let's say you did. I have a guesstimate of your body count. Let's say that you had a child.
Hmm.
Would you want your son to marry a woman who lives their life like you? Let's be
Yes.
honest.
Yes, because I'm not that bad, believe it or not.
Sweetie, you have to be having sex, or men wouldn't even do things for you.
Yeah, with one guy, but he plays in the NFL.
No, there's not just one. That is the confines in which you date in. Who
I
was it
get
before
allowance.
him? Who was it before him? And who was it before that one? And who was it before that one? It's not just one individual.
But
You
like when
have a
I don't be
zone
in
that you're in.
situationships, it'd be like a few years until they pop out with a baby out of nowhere, like some weird.
So you've already told me that you're sure the men you deal with have other women.
I mean, I'll be delusional not to think that.
I agree with you,
What millionaire
which
don't
they
got
can pass
multiple
you
women?
something. They can pass you something. So I'm going to ask you again. You're telling me you would be okay with your son dating a woman who lives her life like you?
Well, no, but I think I am savable. I mean, I'm not.
I listen. I've already told you that. I believe that about you. You're
Okay, what
sweet.
about women? What about women that has sex for free? Is that like a
Her dignity
see?
is intact.
So, so I be like between the two, cause like I don't know, like which is better,
Your dignity is better.
getting money or just laying down and getting nothing in return but kids and stress,
Your
and
dignity
you
is
still got
better.
an eviction notice.
Well, that means you picked you were crazy in your picking then. No one told you to go out and capture you a homeless man. But listen, I got to get up out of here. I appreciate you
Okay, all
coming
right.
up. Hit that, give me a thumbs up in the DM so I know who you are.
Thank you. It was nice talking to you.
Likewise, you take care and enjoy the rest
All
of your
right.
day.
Thank you.
All right.